Now notice, in these two short verses, Jesus has encountered Matthew in three distinct ways. The first one is that he's encountered Matthew in a third space. This is not Jesus' turf, it's not Matthew's turf, it's this neutral turf, which is the tax collector booth, where Jesus said, "Follow me." Second thing is that Jesus invites Matthew into his space, into his inner circle. "Come and follow me," and Matthew did. And then the third thing is that Jesus is willing to go to Matthew's space. Matthew says, "I'm having a party, I'll go there." We need to take a clue from Jesus about this. Because Jesus knew that when it comes to reaching people, half the battle is relational proximity. How close are you to the people that you're trying to reach? Because if you're isolated from them, it's tremendously difficult to reach them. But if you're close to them, if you're interacting every day, man, this might be, the doors pop open at key moments because you're close to them. Jesus was so commonly hanging out with people that were far from him, people that the Pharisees wouldn't have thought he'd hang out with. You know what the insult word that they had for Jesus was? When they wanted to say something really mean against him, you know what they would say? Say, "Jesus, you friend of sinners." And of course, Jesus wore that as a badge of honor. That's exactly right. That's exactly who I am. And I wonder if religious people were going to give an insult word to you, if that's what they would choose, if they would be able to look at your life and say, "You're a friend of sinners." I mean, is there enough evidence in your life that could possibly be accused, that you could possibly be accused of that? You know, sometimes we get the idea that outreach is just being really nice, and the truth is there's a lot of people in this world who are normal and really nice. I mean, we need to be loving, but the kind of loving that's so full of the Holy Spirit and so radically dedicated to Jesus that when you get in a relational proximity, the conversation just naturally flows that way. So I want to ask you the question. Are you in the same places that normal people are? And I say normal people by this because so many people that are not Christians, when they see Christians, they think of Christians as being abnormal. Do you know why people think that we're abnormal? Because we are. You've had an experience with the living God who's come in and forgiven your life and swept you clean and given you a brand new experience with Him so that you're a different person. Friends, that is not normal. And so we see people who are out there, we go, they're normal. We're the ones who are the Christians or the abnormals. So the question is, do you get around normal people very often? When's the last time you got invited over for a party or for a dinner? When was the last time you had someone in your house? When was the last time you shared a meal with somebody who doesn't know Jesus? Well, let me encourage you to do that. Now, some of you guys, when I ask that question, you're saying, well, duh, it's like all day for me. You know, I work in a place where that's just normal. Or I go to school in a place where I interact with people that aren't Christians all the time. But for other people, it's a real challenge. I mean, maybe you go to a Christian university. Or maybe you're someone who's a homeschool family. Or maybe you're a church staff member. And it just takes real intentionality for you to break out of the bubble and get near people who don't yet know Jesus. I want to challenge you to be all about that today. In fact, my challenge for this morning and the next 8 weeks is surrounding this teeny little card that you got when you walked in. So everybody pull this card out right here. And on the back side of the card looks something like this. It says One Life on it. I want to challenge you to identify one person, one life who doesn't know Jesus that you would love to invest in. Somebody for whom you'd like to be Jesus for them, Jesus with skin on. Because you may be the only Jesus that they know. If you're part of our online campus, we've got these One Life cards on the M tab. So click the M tab and you'll be able to get an electronic version of these cards. But when you know who that person is, you may know right away. You may know instantly who that is. Write their name on the card. But I've got 2 rules. First of all, it needs to be somebody who does not yet know Jesus. Okay? Somebody who does not yet know Jesus. Like Jesus was going to Matthew's party here. The second thing is, it's got to be somebody who is geographically close. Okay, geographically close. Someone with whom you have relational proximity. Somebody that you could go to dinner with or have dinner over to your house with. You could get eyeball to eyeball with them and have a conversation. So with those two parameters, you can write down a name as God prompts you. Who is the person that you want to be interacting with? And then the goal with them is threefold. You'll see on here it says connect, pray, and invite. So the first idea is to connect. And by connect, it just means get in relational proximity to them. This week, my challenge to you is this. Have a meal with somebody who doesn't know Jesus. It could be on your turf. It could be on their turf. It could be on some third space. But just get in relational proximity with somebody over a meal. Second thing is pray for them every day. Pray for their well-being. Pray for God to bless their lives. Pray for them to come to know Jesus. And then the last thing is to invite them. Think about over the next 8 weeks what you might be able to invite them into to help accelerate their spiritual experience. It might be that you've got a group that you're a part of. It might be a ministry event that you know of. I think there's 2 golden opportunities that are going to come up in the next 8 weeks that you should pay attention to. One of them is that a movie came out just this week that's perhaps the best Jesus movie that's been released in my entire lifetime. It's a golden opportunity to be able to invite your friends to go to a third space and see something that's put on that would make Jesus really, really attractive in their lives. And the other thing is that you might invite somebody to our Easter services. As you know, Easter services are always really well done. We do a great job. It's a welcoming place for people that are not yet followers of Jesus, electric environment. You might want to think about inviting that one person to be a part of our Easter services. So take this card, write a name on there, and then put it in your wallet or put it on your mirror or put it somewhere that you know you're going to see it and be thinking about that person and praying for them on a regular basis. Ask God who that person might be, and hopefully God will do an amazing work over the next 8 weeks as you pray and connect and invite. Actually, let's all say connect, pray, invite together. Ready? Say it. Connect, pray, and invite.